So welcome back to our land. So this morning was quite eventful. We went to the camera. We found out that we still do have our residency, and I think it was activated today. Not sure about that still yet. We've opened up our bank account, and now we're just gonna have a quick look at the land. It's grown a lot. It's still beautiful, and we have a lot of work to do, but it's beautiful, and the smell in the air is warm and fruity and clean. And that's a new neighbour who seems to have a big toy. So yep, we have a lot of work to do. Let's have a look. See, the lavender is out in force, and there's more than I've ever seen here before, which is fabulous. And little daisies and what look like little cornflowers, and these beautiful long ones. They're gorgeous. I think the daisies could be some kind of, well, it's either just a good daisy or it's like a chamomile. And it's all just humming with bees. You can hear behind me and to the side of me. All beautiful humming sounds. The olive trees look as though they've just flowered, and the flowers are starting to dry, drop off. But sadly, none of the trees that we planted have survived, which in all honesty is no surprise. We weren't able to water them. Yeah, we couldn't ask people to keep coming out and looking after things while we weren't here. So sadly, the lemons for the gin and tonic are on hold for a few more years. The big tree that we cut back seems to have come back really positively, and the other one, so that's good. But we do now have quite an impenetrable wall. That's going to need clearing as soon as we get back here properly. But the view hasn't gone anywhere. That's lovely. So as promised, we always said our house and our land literally a couple of minutes apart. So we'd like to invite you along for an in real time walk with us. Come and see what it's like. Yeah, somebody's got a big toy, haven't they?
That's not usually there, is it?
It was there yesterday when we came.
So this is the Rua Principal, the main road,
This is the main street.
the main street in our village.
And little house.
Which I didn't bring the keys for.
Ah. There we go.
There you go. So how many minutes was that of filming?
Maybe not 2. It's about 4.5.
4.5 minutes?
Yeah. Those of you who will have seen the garden before, we cleared it out, so there's nothing but bare earth. And clearly nature will always have its way, and everything comes back. Hello!
Hello. Can you see me?
Not really.
No.
Oh, there you are.
It's it hasn't changed at all.
No.
Hasn't got any worse. Maybe a few extra.
Cobwebs. There's a great big one hanging down over your head.
This looks like damp. People mentioned this on the last video.
Yeah, they did.
And do you know, that actually feels colder and damper than what people have mentioned is damp. That actually feels warm and that feels cold. So I don't know if that's a good sign or what, but it's definitely not damp.
And the marks on the ceiling are where they've cemented the beams together, because it's a cement ceiling, isn't it?
It's a cement ceiling, yeah. Which is weird, having that above your head, to be honest.
The marks on the walls are just literally where they've been messy with the plaster.
Yeah, just done like a bad
splashed.
job.
Yeah, this side's been done, that side's old paint.
But this is a really good job. This is a really nice job. You can kind of see that. I mean, it's done
It's
a really...
rough. Yeah, it's rough.
Oh yeah, but that's the stuff that they've used.
Yeah.
But this is just where the splashes have come on, and that's not damp. None of this is damp.
No.
So this one, I think, I managed to open. I managed to lock actually before we went away. So I can open that, let a bit of light in as well. I love these traditional, what are they called?
Shutters.
Yeah, shutters. But if we can keep them, as I think we possibly said on the original video, we can keep them. So again, it's the same situation in here, isn't it? Really, it just looks quite ugly in the colours, but
nothing's quite finished.
Yeah, I think that's it. It just looks ugly, but really, it feels quite solid, and it feels very dry. Very dry. I'm trying to find. Yeah, it feels solid and what can I say, dry.
There is dampness coming up from the floor. Because we.
Do you think that is damp?
Yeah.
That does look like damp, so I'll give you that, yeah.
Because they don't really have any damp proofing or anything like that.
That's right.
It's just built on bare earth.
What's underneath, yes.
Yeah, you can see rising up the internal walls. But we intend to take some of them out if we can.
See what we can do with it?
Yeah.
It feels cool in here, which is nice.
It's lovely and cool, yeah.
So again, this is the situation here. Again, this hasn't moved. This has always been here.
Yes.
This was a worry of ours, the fact that it has cracked. Watching a few videos on YouTube though, we believe this is just the render on the top.
Yeah.
And everything else behind it is just solid wall. It's just this which has moved, and it hasn't moved anymore. And it may well have been because the tile was off on the corner. So damp may well have came in this corner here.
Yeah.
Because Elaine moved a tile.
I went up onto
went up on the roof last time and you put a tile in there, didn't you?
Yes,
there
there
was
was
missing one. So that may well be a bit of damp got in here, maybe caused this crack down here. Possibly.
And you can see where the screed floor is very thin there. That's all that's sort of been underneath. So we intend to sort all of the floor out as well, don't we?
Yeah.
With a damp proof course.
Can you see that the damp has come through here? Is that what that is? You see how the damp maybe has come down the inside and then leaked out here?
Yeah, I think you could be right with the roof.
Yeah, but they've had rain here a few weeks ago and that's not wet. So potentially that is from 2 years ago, these stains.
Because there were stains there last time.
They were there, and this fixture that you've now made in the corner here, because this is not at all damp, not at all. We may actually fix the problem by doing the tile. Excellent.
Not sure about that very top corner on the ceiling.
Have a look.
But that's literally where the tiles and everything were missing. But until we can get up into the roof space, then that will give us a better idea of whether water has ingressed.
So this is the view from the bottom of the land. Can see our bus just up there through the gap, and as you can see it's quite overgrown since we last were here, and also since we purchased it. When we purchased this land originally, it was flattened. They'd taken all the pine trees that were here, the same as the ones next door, and on this side all of the pine trees down the centre here were removed. I think they took them to make a bit of money on before they sold the property. Tried to assess the land situation, see what it looks like down here, to see what we need to do in order to get this organised, and probably couldn't make it out on the camera, but some of that was, I was going to say some of it was 8 foot, but some of it was 12 foot at least. What's that, 3 metres? So that's not just going to be any old brush cutter, I don't think, cutting down 3 metre, maybe even slightly taller trees. Now obviously there's some pine trees there, which not ideal from a caterpillar perspective, but this is pine forest, so ideally we probably want to keep those. Looks quickly, from what I could tell, there might even be the odd oak tree, maybe. Couldn't really tell from where I was and didn't want to be venturing in my shorts. Whew, it's quite a warm day today. I think it's about 36 is the plan for today. That's what they're saying on the forecast, rather. And when I come out of the shade I can feel it straight away. And it's only towards the end of May now, so the summer is yet to come. But anyway, so lots to think about now that we do have our residency certificates. As I said, I think previously on the video, that even though that's sorted, there's now lots of questions that need to be answered, lots of things that need to be done to put all of this into place. So over the next 3 months, I think we're going to be organising, arranging things like cars. We were talking about it this morning. We need a car whilst we're out here. We can't matriculate our minibus. We could use the minibus for 6 months while we're out here, but then we need to take it back to the UK. We also have to think about UK MOTs on it. It will never be a Portuguese vehicle. So there's all of these things now that we have to think about in order to spend more time here in Portugal. Elaine's clearing out the front garden of the little house down there, so I'm going to nip back now and see her, and we'll get back to you in a little bit. Okay.
Take the drone up. And with that, some friends turned up and a couple of people who live in the village came, and we didn't want to film them, so we sort of left it at that and didn't film anything else that day. So I'm going to bring the video to a close and say thank you very much for watching. I would love to say thank you very much to those of you who have jumped on board with our Patreon, all our early birds. We really do appreciate what you are doing for us, and we love the support. The last video has got lots of views, which is really encouraging. Lots of really positive comments, which I thank you all for, and I hope that I've replied to all of them now. So take care, and we will see you next time. Thank you.